If you're not sure where to begin with the creative process, if you're feeling resistance to even starting that thing that you're thinking about doing, I know there's something that you're thinking about doing that you want to do, but you keep having this resistance month after month, year after year. You're telling yourself, now I'm going to start, but you don't. Maybe you're just afraid of judgment. You don't even know where to begin. Well, in this video today, I'm going to give you the advice that I wish somebody had told me years ago with the creative process. Now, I do like to write and express my ideas. I do like to record YouTube videos. It's fun for me. Actually, when I was a kid, I did acting, I did theater, and I really enjoyed it. And so I decided to start YouTube. And it was only this year that I just started. If you're new to my channel, appreciate you being here, by the way. But if you're returning, you've probably heard my story. But I think the biggest thing is stop overthinking it too much. Just take action. That's going to be one of the biggest things. Just take action. Now, if you don't even know where to begin, but you have some ideas, I highly encourage you to cut out distractions in your life. So go through and audit your YouTube subscriptions, audit your Instagram, your Facebook, TikTok, whatever, and remove stuff that doesn't add value to your life. Negativity, drama, things that distract you. Because one of the biggest problems today is there's so many distractions everywhere. And you're not really able to truly tap into the creative side with so many distractions. So you got to cut out all the noise. There's so much noise. And it wasn't really until about a year ago that I started to get the clarity that I needed on the direction that I wanted to take YouTube with the Ascended Man, which, by the way, my mission here is to help you forge armor for life. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. The whole 9 yards. Forge strength, elevate your spirit, and lead with purpose. And it took me several years to kind of formulate this idea, and it was a process. The creative process is not linear. It's not. It's just not linear. It's something that happens over time through your life experience. And you go back and connect the dots. Now, how do you connect the dots and try to figure out what it is that you want to do? You got to cut out the noise and then journal about this stuff. So get out a journal every single day for at least 20 to 30 minutes, just 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Sit down and just write about your life. What do you like? What are you good at? What have people told you that you could do? People that have told you that you're good at? And what are your interests? And what do you like to do? What does your YouTube history have? Go back and look at your YouTube history and look at what kind of content you're watching the most. And at the beginning of the year, I basically was monk mode for about 3 months. I wasn't doing anything but getting up first thing in the morning. I was reading and I was writing and journaling and trying to get clear on what direction I want to take YouTube. Notion is a great tool to use to organize your notes. I use that. Google Docs, and then you just have to get started. Whatever it is your game plan is that you want to do. Maybe you want to be a content creator. Maybe you're some kind of other artist, but you've got to block out the noise and you've got to spend more time in solitude and thinking and reflecting, journaling, thinking, reflecting, going on walks. Bro, walks are so underrated. Just going on a walk and listening. Also too, a part of the creative process is taking in fresh perspectives and new ideas. Now, there's a fine line between this, right? So for 6+ years, I was just consuming. I was reading so much. I was learning so much. And it wasn't all bad stuff. It was all good stuff, like the personal development stuff, right? Self-improvement. But for 6+ years, I was just consuming, but I wasn't taking action. I wasn't taking enough action. It was more like 90% consumption and maybe 10% action. And then I would fall off and not be consistent. But now it's more like 5 consumption and 95% action, and I'm getting ahead. I've probably read like maybe 1 or 2 books this year, and it's almost halfway done with the year. Because I already have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of notes. I have life experience. There comes a point where self-improvement can be redefined. Self-improvement is redefined. There's a personal development trap, which is overconsumption, right? But self-improvement is also actually improving. And to actually improve requires taking action, and you're going to get better. And when you first start, whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to suck. But you have to just understand that and keep showing up and taking massive action. That is how you improve, self-improvement. But you don't want to fall into the self-improvement trap where you're just taking a ton of, you're just consuming a lot, but you're not taking enough action. You're thinking that you're being productive, because I did this for years. I was thinking that I'm getting better. Okay, yeah, but there comes a point where you just have to eventually turn the camera on, put the pen to paper, start whatever it is that you're doing that you want to do. You just have to start. And you're going to die one day. You should only do it if it resonates with your soul. Pick something that resonates with your soul. And how do we figure out like what our thing is? Like, we all know like what we're good at. What were you blessed with? What are some, gifts that you were given? Because it's all about giving your gifts to the world, figuring out what your gifts are, your purpose, and giving that to the world. And this can be done in any way. Musician, artist, you're a producer, a writer, you're a content creator, you are an actor. It doesn't matter. But you have to be passionate about it. Like, you have to love it. Because if it's not something that you really care about, then you're not going to, if you're doing it to try to get famous or to try to pop off or anything like that, it's not long standing. It's not enough to keep the momentum. It's not enough for you to stay in the fight even when it gets tough. But you just have to start. But you've got to also understand that there's going to be negativity. People are going to hate. People are going to talk shit. And a lot of people just give you their fucking opinions, their irrelevant opinions, when they're intimidated by you because you make them feel insecure. Or maybe it's they're projecting onto you their insecurities that they don't agree with what you're doing. Who gives a fuck? Your family doesn't have to approve. Your friends don't have to approve. A true friend would support you. But also, too, with the creative process, you don't need to share every single thing. You don't have to tell people about every step of what you're doing, every win that you get. It's cool to share here and there, right? But just stay locked in and focus on the mission. And just understand that it takes time to figure it out. It took me years to figure it out. The creative process, it took me literally my whole lifetime. I'm going to be 34 this summer. It took me just until about a year ago to really look at my life and think, okay, I can piece this together and I can see a pattern here. I didn't really have a strong masculine father figure around growing up. I was bullied when I was in school. I had a learning disability. I was a certified personal trainer for a while. I helped coach people, men, women. Then I was in the military, and I learned a lot from that as well. I struggle with women. I struggle in dating, and I've kind of tried to figure a lot of stuff out now. I've gotten my heart broken. So I've been through a lot of stuff, and it's about taking your interests and your life experiences and then packaging that up and sharing your truth, sharing your light. There is only one of you, man. There's only one of you. You're not one in a million. There's only one there's ever going to be. And you can't commoditize yourself. You have to make yourself different. How do you make yourself different? Be you, your authentic self, your story, everything that you're all about. And it's just about how you package it up. And you can also use ChatGPT and AI to kind of put your ideas in there and help you formulate a freaking game plan. Like, I didn't really have that right when I started the whole creative process, but it's definitely helped me, refine things here and there to get a better, fuller picture, and also to streamline my workflow. But the biggest piece of advice I can just tell you, man, is fuck the haters. Start now. start journaling, start reflecting. And if you don't have a lot of ideas, if you're one of those guys who you don't really read a lot, you don't really watch a lot of YouTube, you don't really do a lot of the self-improvement, stuff, right? Then you need more fresh perspectives, podcasts, things like that, books, and then you need to take notes of ideas and only go in the direction that your intuition tells you. Only do things that resonate with your soul. And then that's how you get more ideas, right? But if you already know, then you got to turn off the self-improvement stuff and just start taking action. I'm not saying you shouldn't be learning and growing and still learning things, but there comes a point, like, you just got to take action to get progress. And just understand it's going to require a lot of work. And honestly, even with YouTube, for example, like, just to help you understand how I operate, I am literally thinking about this stuff 24/7. I mean, I dream about it. I think about it during the day. I'm constantly thinking about it. And it's a switch that is really hard to turn off because I am really passionate about that. And that's really kind of what you want. Like, that's what you're looking for. That's a sign. It's a hint, right? And, I'll have my phone. I'm a voracious note taker on my notes app on my phone and my Google Docs. If I'm going for walks, if I'm listening to a podcast or reading a book, I'll take notes. I have a stack of journals. I mean, it's the creative process can be kind of jumbled up. And if an idea pops in my head, bro, I could literally be driving in the car or doing something completely separate, completely random. I hear something, see something, read something, or just get this idea driving in the car. And I just start taking a note in my notes app on my phone or on my Google Doc. And I just start writing a piece of content, or even just taking a few bullet points, or even just putting like an idea on my phone, just putting it there. And then just, taking action on it. But if you need any additional help with this stuff, I do offer one-to-one video consultations. We can hop on a call for an hour. We can work through anything that you need help with the creative process, with fitness, with dating, with confidence, mindset, any of that stuff. My email is in the video description. It's also in my bio. Shoot me an email. We'll set something up. But go ahead and, let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.